we were talking about nuclear war. If you mentioned the Indian, Pakistan example where maybe that would just be isolated, which, be for the best for everyone else. But if there was something where it wasn't something like that and the U.S. got involved, what is the protocol in a situation like that? We all see the guy with the football carrying around the nuclear codes with the president. Mm. Obviously, the president has the say. He makes the decision, and then it's done. But is this something that happens in 60 seconds if it needs to? So you weren't on the ground in Europe till 98.
Correct.
But when you look at an event like Princess Diana's death on August 31st, 1997, it happened in Paris. Mm-hmm. It happened in France. Is there any way the French intelligence doesn't know what happened there? I'm not saying they did it. I'm just saying, they got to know.
I would say they probably do. Yeah.
What do you think happened there?
I really believe it was a series of fuck-ups. Mm. The driver was drunk, being chased by the paparazzi. The paparazzi were overly aggressive. One thing led to the other. I don't remember if she was wearing a seatbelt or not. She had a crushed chest. I think she wasn't. Mm. I think it was just one mistake after another.
It's possible. Yeah.
But I don't think the royal family assassinated her.
I agree.
Yeah, I never saw the evidence.
I never saw that either. And also, I don't think Prince, now King Charles, is that good of an actor. That was very...
No way.
When you look at that, obviously they had their differences for sure, but as the mother of his kids and everything, and there was definitely some human shit going on there.
I think so,
believe it or not. I know it's very easy to dehumanize the royal family just because, it's a fucking royal family.
Right. Right.
They are humans, so...
Yeah, they are.
But what's the, we were talking about nuclear war. If you mentioned the Indian, Pakistan example where maybe that would just be isolated, which, be for the best for everyone else. But if there was something where it wasn't something like that and the U.S. got involved, what is the protocol in a situation like that? We all see the guy with the football carrying around the nuclear codes with the president. Mm. Obviously, the president has the say. He makes the decision, and then it's done. But is this something that happens in 60 seconds if it needs to?
Yeah, it is. This is a much easier question to answer if you're asking about a situation in which the United States is not directly involved. Mm. So yeah, we've got underground facilities. Like there's one called Mount Weather that's on the West Virginia line. There's another one in Colorado where the president, the vice president, their families, the cabinet, congressional leadership, their families can be whisked away. Everybody else, it's every man for himself. For the rest of us, yeah.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's a huge help. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, I live 3 miles from the White House, so I don't think I'm going to make it out. What are you going to do?
You won't feel anything.
No, it'll be fast. If there's a threat to the United States, like we believed there could be on 9/11, yeah, they'll implement that plan where the nuclear football goes with the president, just in case we have to launch something. The codes are in there, and he can launch from Mount Weather or from Colorado, wherever he happens to be. Air Force One just flying in circles someplace.
The thing that I wonder in the event of mass nuclear strikes around the world happening is if the story of society completely breaks down and none of this stuff happens. Meaning it starts and there's such chaos that people are like, there is no president, including the people around him. Like, fuck you. Who are you?
You have to expect that would be a real possibility. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, look, we've all seen these post-apocalyptic movies or read the books. What was the Irish, the Long Road, the something road, The Road. That's what it was called. The Road. Yeah. There's been a nuclear conflict. It's every man for himself. And it's just a story of this man and his son just walking down this road. You don't know where it goes, where they came from. Is that what it is? The road? Yeah, Cormac McCarthy. That's right. They stumble on an underground bunker and they find a bunch of canned soup. And then the dad dies, and then the kid just keeps walking. That's how the book ends.
Huh.
Yeah.
Very Irish.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the good guy always loses,
Uh-huh.
and the moral of the story is there's no hope for anybody.
We got a pub right down the street if you
Oh,
want
there you go.
want to go live that out. Yeah, I hate that. Like I said earlier, I hate that we even have to think about that.
Yeah.
But it does feel like, you you look at these different conflicts around the world, including the ones people don't talk about, by the way. Oof.
Did you ever see the episode of the original Star Trek where
No.
where Kirk and Spock, they beam down to this planet, and this planet, the planet's leaders are yelling because the next door planet, they're having a war with them, and there's this announcement that everybody in group A has to go to the incinerator, right? So you go to the incinerator and you get incinerated. And Kirk is like, whoa, what's going on here? And they said, we came up with this treaty with the next door planet that since we hate each other, we're always fighting wars. There's no sense in blowing up all the buildings. So we have computer models that tell us how many people would have died if we launch, XYZ weapon. And so then we just summon that number of people to the incinerator, and then they get incinerated. So at least we don't mess up our planets. And he's like, no, that's not a good idea. You have to negotiate peace. And then he ends up negotiating peace. But it's like we're headed there. This was all predicted in 1968.
Yeah, art following, life following art, something I think about a lot. It does it's just human nature. Like that imagination comes from something that's based in reality of how we think.
Yes, exactly right.
I was talking with someone recently, I think it was Mike Ritlin, about like seeing the Nolan Batman series recently. I hadn't watched it in years. But the things that Christopher Nolan in a fucking superhero series, it's like supposed to be very fake and not of this world. The pulse that he had his finger on with society. Think about the years he filmed those movies: 04, 07, and 2011. They came out in 05, 08, and 2012. The themes, elites versus the everyman, social chaos, people out for themselves, Gotham falling from the inside.
Tell me that you've seen Soylent Green.
Soylent Green? No.
Soylent Green is people.
Soylent Green is people. So Soylent Green came out in the early 1970s. It's one of the great science fiction films of all time. Stars Charlton Heston.
Oh, I love Charlton.
He's a cop in the megalopolis. We've had such an explosion in population that from Boston to DC, it's just all one giant city. It's just all connected. So he's a cop in what used to be called Philadelphia. And eggs are $100 a piece. A jar of jelly is $150. There's one tree left in New York City, and they had to build a fort around it so it could be protected. It was the only tree that's left on the East Coast. And like I say, he's a cop, and he lives with this old man who was a professor. So nobody can afford to eat. So the government provides these little nutritional chips. There's Soylent Green, which is colored green, Soylent Red, Soylent Yellow. And it's like $1.98 a pound. So that's what everybody eats, what everybody lives on. In the meantime, there are such huge riots of hungry people that they have these big earth movers that just go scoop people up during demonstrations, and it throws them into the back of a dump truck, and then they just disappear. You don't know what happened to them. So Charlton Heston, he's barely able to make a living. At least, he's got Soylent Green he can eat. And the professor decides, he's 70 years old, he's sick. They have these suicide centers that you can just go, you lay in a bed, and they show you a film of just nature, deer running around and butterflies and birds tweeting. You've never seen anything like this before. So as they give you the lethal injection, that's what you get to see. And there's classical music playing, so it's all very nice. Charlton Heston runs to the suicide center to stop his friend from committing suicide. And he has to break into the place. He's too late to save him, but he follows the trail that they've taken the body to. And they take the body to a processing center where they're making Soylent Green out of all these people that they're scooping up at the demonstrations. And as they're arresting him and beating him, he shouts, "Soylent Green is people."
Oh my God.
We used to do this thing at the CIA. Just for fun. Like every time you have an operational meeting, you have to write a very detailed, like blow by blow, minute by minute account of the meeting. And CIA cables by nature are written only in capital letters. It's like some thing from the 50s. They just never changed it. So what people would do is they would make these random lowercase letters, but they did it so it would spell out Soylent Green as people in the cable. We would always get such a kick out of it because it would always make its way through the system. Nobody would pay any attention until like the one guy is reading it. And he's like, oh, they did it again.
The scary part about that is
I'm going to look for it.
It reminds me of that kind of story. Doesn't seem far. It seems far-fetched for tomorrow, but it doesn't seem far-fetched for somewhere in the future.
Well, this Soylent Green. It's 1973. I said 72. It's 73.
A lot of 70s was unbelievable.
It is on Amazon Prime right now for $3.99.
Okay, I'm definitely watching.
Don't miss it. It's one of the greatest science fiction movies.
I can't believe
ever
I haven't
made.
seen that.
I'm surprised.
I've watched a lot.
He did another
in the
one at the
70s.
same time called The Omega Man, where he was the last man on Earth. There was some kind of pandemic, and a handful of people survived, but as like monsters, like Walking Dead kind of people.
Like I Am Legend almost.
In fact, I Am Legend was the reboot
Right.
of The Omega Man.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, awesome. Love Charlton Heston. Met him once on the street in London. Couldn't have been nicer.
Is there anyone you don't know or you haven't bumped into at some point?
I was with my girlfriend. We were spending junior year abroad, and I took her to see a play called The Caine Mutiny Court Martial, and it starred Charlton Heston, and he was brilliant in this play. And she says, "Let's go around to the stage door and see if we can meet him." I said, "No, it's such a cliche. No, I don't want to bother the man, and he's not going to want to be bothered after working for 2 hours on stage like that." She's like, "Please, I love Charlton Heston." So we ran around back, and it was, I don't know, half a dozen other people back there. And he came out and could not have been any nicer, more cordial. Just a lovely guy.
Fucking Moses right there, dude.
I know, right? That's Moses.
That's Moses.
And that voice, like who in America doesn't know that voice?
Oh,
Yeah, pretty cool.
yeah. Again, can't believe I have watched a fuck ton of movies from the 70s. The 70s was the 70s and the 90s for movies.
Oh,
like,
yes. My kids even got me a coffee table book called The Stewardess is Flying the Plane, Movies of the 1970s.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
Loved it.
It's awesome stuff. Real quick, John, I just got to use the bathroom.
Of course.
So we'll be right back. Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.